G'day, I'm Tim Thompson and I'm in Yamba, northern New South Wales at the Harwood Sugar Mill, which is owned by Sunshine Sugar, Australia's largest Australian-owned sugar company. And they're doing something about the problem that growers have with sugarcane trash. You see, only about 16% of the sugarcane plant, at best, can become sugar. The rest is either burnt for fuel to run the mill or is returned to the paddock as waste, and this is where the problem occurs. In Yamba, New South Wales, and indeed around this region, it's not warm enough for that waste to break down quickly enough to let the next season's crop come through. So growers either have to dispose of it as mulch or burn it. And both of those have environmental consequences and don't have a very high return for the growers. Well, Sunshine Sugar, in partnership with Sustinent, is doing something about that. So let's go and see Kent, production engineer at the mill, and find out about the amazing process of turning cane into sugar and some of the amazing old and new technology that's being used to do that. Then go over the road and visit Sustinent and find out about the solution for cane growers. And Kent, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Tim.
Now, you're a process engineer here at the Harwood Mill.
That's correct.
And you're going to take us through the process of turning cane into sugar.
The process starts, we deliver by truck 25 tonne at a time, sugar cane billets.
Yep.
That gets weighed in and tipped into our system. The first step, it passes through a hammer mill, which is powered by a steam turbine.
Now, we're going to see a lot of steam from now on, aren't we? And it's critically important that we understand that you guys have continued with steam long beyond a lot of industries, and it's purely from a production efficiency and resource use point of view that you're using steam, isn't it?
Because of the availability of fuel, we have the ability to generate a lot of steam, so it makes sense for our business.
Yeah, so it's a sustainable choice.
That's right, yep.
After passing through the hammer mill, the cane is quite pulverised and it goes up a conveyor belt. What happens from this point?
So we call that prepared cane, and that then goes into the crushing mills where the sucrose, which is in solution, gets extracted from the fibrous component of the cane.
Now, after that point, after those 3 crushes, you then separate the product, don't you?
At the end of the crushing station, the process splits into 2 streams. The fibrous material, known as bagasse, that becomes the fuel for our boiler, which provides all the steam and electricity requirements for the site. How
much bagasse can you store at any one time here at the mill?
Within the bagasse bin itself, we can store up to 1,200 tonne of fuel. Beyond that, we can actually export and create a stockpile on the ground.
So storing that amount of bagasse is critically important, isn't it? Because your crushing season is only a certain number of months in the year, isn't it?
That's right. So at Harwood, we have a refinery which operates 12 months of the year.
Yep.
So to span that fuel requirement, we stockpile the bagasse that we generate during the crush.
So that's the bagasse taken care of. That's the byproduct from sugar refining that's used to power the mill itself. What about the actual sugar juice now? Because it's still in liquid form, isn't it? So that's going to be pumped out of those crushes?
The juice gets pumped across from the mills, collected in a single tank, and then it goes through various stages of further processing. The first is clarification. So effectively we heat the juice and use lime to separate the mud. The mud is then recovered on rotary vacuum filters, and because that still contains a lot of nutrient, that's returned to the farms and used as a fertiliser.
And that's spread out of trucks as a fertiliser, isn't it?
Yep, that's right. The sugar then gets concentrated in evaporators, effectively using the steam again to boil off the excess water.
Yep.
That we call syrup is then crystallised and produces massacquit, which is effectively sugar crystals in mother molasses.
And so you then put that into giant centrifuges that spin that out and further refine the sugar and take the crystals off that.
That's right, yeah. We have batch centrifuges that accept the massacquit and effectively separate the sugar from the syrup component. And what we're left with is sugar that passes through a dryer, and that's our final raw sugar product.
Raw sugar. So Ken, you don't only hold bagasse in reserve for power off season, you hold sugar in reserve as well. You've got this massive aircraft hangar that just ends up being completely filled with sugar by the end of the processing year.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. So Sunshine Sugar own 3 mills. So any extra sugar from the other mills gets brought down here to Harwood,
Yep.
stored in this shed, so the refinery can run 365 days of the year effectively.
So how many tonnes of sugar can you store in here?
So when we've packed this to the rafters, we'll get 110,000 tonne of raw sugar in this shed.
110,000 tonne of raw sugar.
It's a fair bit of chewing.
This is a story of 140 years of innovation. I mean, we've still got the original steam engines powering part of the process from 140 years ago. And then we've got the latest in tech of sensors and all sorts of things optimising your sugar production. You're storing all your waste product to reuse as fuel. So you've basically got zero waste from the mill. The only problem or opportunity, as smart people see problems, is for the growers in turning some of their trash into a higher value commodity rather than having to burn it.
Yeah, basically that's right, Tim. Sugar's been made for a long time. The process is well understood, yet there's still a lot of opportunity, especially in the field, getting a hold of that biomass and turning it into something valuable, which also has green credits and just good for jobs.
So from the sugar mill production side of things, there's almost zero waste. Everything that comes in the gate either gets utilised for power or ends up as primary product. The issue is the trash that's left behind in the paddocks. As we heard from Kent, because of the seasonal climatic conditions down here in northern New South Wales, the sheer amount of trash does not have time to decompose before the next crop is due to be grown. That means that growers either have to try and get rid of it off farm by finding a novel use for it, or burn it on site so that the next crop can be grown. This is where the opportunity comes in for innovation. Sunshine Sugar, along with Sustinent, have got a joint partnership looking at ways of actually turning the waste from sugar production into a highly valuable commodity that can be used not only to grow food, but also as stock feed. Let's find out a little bit more about that and how this new process has developed another business. Paul, how are you, mate?
Good. G'day, how are you?
Paul, you're part of a company called Sustinent, and you're working in a joint venture project with Sunshine Sugar, looking at ways to turn their sugarcane trash, which they have a copious amount of, into a high-value commodity.
Yep, that's correct. So basically taking the cane that's usually burnt,
Yep.
and then we want to make it into other things like gourmet mushroom grow bags or cattle feed.
Now, we're standing in front of what looks like an enormous chopper.
Yeah.
This is the start of the process.
Yeah, that's right. So the first step, as you said, is the Teagle tomahawk.
Yep.
So we need to put these bales in there, and it basically just chops them down to manageable bits.
So the process of turning this trash into a high-value commodity starts with the Teagle chopper outside, comes up this conveyor belt and drops down into an autoclave. Now, an autoclave is basically a large compression chamber where you can pump steam under high pressure and raise the temperature well over 100 degrees. This is done so that they remove all of the natural fungi and bacteria from the cane trash to allow them to insert their own and biologically engineer a brand new product. Once, obviously, the trash has been put into the autoclave, it's really, really hot. So we come to the next step. And this is a cooling tank. The ultra hot trash drops into the top of this tank via a conveyor belt that's completely sealed, and then it goes into a cold water jacketed container, and in about 20 minutes they drop the temperature down from well over 100 degrees to 25. It's then ready to treat with their preferred biological agent to turn this cane trash into something of value. So finally, our sterilised, chopped up and cooled cane trash comes to this machine here, and this is where the magic truly happens. Worthless cane trash into something of very high value.
Yeah, that's right. So once the cane trash is here, we add our mushroom spawn, and it's really the mushrooms that do all the magic.
Okay, so you're using fungi of specific breeds to turn this cane trash into high value product.
Yeah, that's right. So not only can we make mushrooms, but we can also make cattle feed out of that.
All right, so how does this machine work, mate?
So we've got our cane trash in here. The spawn goes through this machine in here where it's dosed into the cane trash, and then we bag it out, seal it, and it's ready to go in the incubator.
And finally, we end up in a controlled growth environment where the freshly spawned cane trash turns into bags of mushrooms. These are then sent off to growers to produce mushrooms, and then they return the used bags here to be turned into cattle feed. So Paul, this is a great story that I think underlines the importance of having great Australian-owned businesses curating and looking after our Australian agricultural products, isn't it? Sunshine Sugar's gone into partnership with Sustinent, another Australian company, to look at an Australian environmental problem and turn it into an Australian environmental opportunity.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, it's good to look at the life cycle of products, especially agricultural products that might only have one use previously.
Yep.
And we're able to get the most value out of them by getting them reused again and again.
Mate, fantastic work. I look forward to seeing more out of Sustinent in the future, and kudos to Sunshine Sugar for getting involved in such a fantastic, groundbreaking project.
Awesome, Tim. Thank you.
Guys, if you like this kind of content, don't forget, hit the little subscribe button down there, give it a thumbs up. There's plenty more on timthompson.ag. And keep your eye out in the near future for a story on the Internet of Things and how a brand new business has arisen from this project that looks to reshape the way that we track and trace our food products in Australia.